What's up, guys? This is another video. If you haven't read the title, this is my review slash opinions on the Cobra Kai new season, season 4. We're getting almost to 5, which is pretty cool. If you don't know what Cobra Kai is, it's a show that started off on YouTube that is based on the original Karate Kid series. The only ones that have, at least the creators have said, is connected is the Miyagi stuff. So the Jackie Chan reboot does not matter in the case of the show, but the all the other movies do. Um, and so anybody who's met Miyagi, in the lore and stuff, that's what it's connected to this series. And that show went from YouTube to Netflix. If you don't already know that, I mean, a lot of people already know that. But yeah, and so we've had 3 really good seasons. This show is very much a teen drama with some karate in it. And it's cool. So let me get into the season, just for my general review before I go into some spoiler territory. Really good. It kind of didn't go exactly the way I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to start off really, higher pace like than the other seasons, but it didn't do that. So interesting. The actors are doing really good. I'm excited to see where they go. The overall arc is surprising, but not too surprising, if you know what I mean. Like, you can kind of predict it a little bit if you're, ready for it. But overall, the kids do really well. They're getting older, and it's seeing some of the old actors and from the originals coming back is really cool. And I would give this season maybe a 6.5. It's not insane, but it was fun. I think last season got me a little bit more adrenaline, but there are definitely those moments in this season, and I'm excited. And it's not a bad series by any means. 6.5. Just compared to all these other crazy shows that have come out and stuff. So, but I'm gonna get into some spoilers now. Now, the season, I thought originally was going to begin with the tournament. I was just gonna be like we were just gonna go boom boom boom, like right into it and like right into the action. And no, it's actually, the season opens up with Terry Silver. If you don't know who Terry Silver is, he's a Karate Kid 3. He's a very scary individual. Friend of what's his name? Crease. And Crease pulls him back in again. And this show really gives you like the slow burn of Terry. And you don't think it's gonna happen. Terry turns it down a couple times, and the actor steps into that role like no time has passed. Like, you could tell this guy has a screw loose from his previous life, and it's just cool to see it. Crease seems, on the other hand, coming back down while Silver's going up. Crease seems to be like being not as evil, and I think that's what they're really trying to portray. That this Crease is slowly coming down as well. Crease is still a bad guy, but not as bad as Silver, and I think that's going to play a lot into what's coming up. We do get a lot of returns. Aisha, the bigger black girl from the previous seasons who wasn't in the last season, makes a surprise return, which is really cool. The show really gets going, and I mean, it's more of like the teen drama CW type of feel to this show, but a little bit better than what CW does. I wish they would get into the nitty gritty more quicker. I understand you got to fill some time, but I do love they do introduce this new kid, and this kid is really cool. His arc is like almost like the same kind of idea with the original Karate Kid, except this kid joins Cobra Kai instead of being taught by Miyagi. It's very, and it has to do with Daniel's son, and it's like, I think we're gonna get that Daniel son finally, karate eventually, or we might not. But I think we will. I think, judging from the last episodes of the season, it's gonna happen. The kid that they cast for that role, he is who I think should be Miles Morales in a live action anything, because that kid is fucking good. And I just think that kid's gonna be good if they keep going with the way this kid, happy-go-lucky, and this kid flips. That great acting right there. That kid, really good, really good. And it's just cool seeing how everything played out and how everybody's kind of getting their redemptions, their redemption arcs, and there's a lot of like little Easter eggs to things to Miyagi and things like that, and to the different various Karate Kids in the series. I'm not going to go through every single one of those, but one of the cooler things in the season is Daniel teaching Johnny Miyagi, and vice versa, Johnny teaching Daniel Cobra or Eagle Fang. I just think we're getting the love triangles and couples and all that shit in the show. I don't really care about that too much. I do care about the where their arcs are going, where the kids are going. It seems like everybody's like on their spike up. At least the characters that we care about are getting their redemptions, and they're figuring things out. And Silver being truly this big bad guy. And I think we're going to get Mike Barnes in the next season, I think, or at least in one of the coming seasons, I think, since Crease is, spoiler alert, for the ending of the series of the season is John Silver frames Crease beating up Stingray, because Stingray comes back this season, which is fucking cool, and he's been on house arrest this whole time. He comes back to Cobra Kai, and he's like they both tell him, you're not Cobra Kai material or whatever. And then he goes to Silver, Silver beats the shit out of him, almost killing him, and he wakes up, and this is where Silver tells him, like, hey, do you really want to be in Cobra Kai? This is how you do it. Whatever, and it's to frame Crease, and Crease ends up getting arrested, and this big thing is about everyone has weakness, and Terry Silver tells Crease that Johnny Lawrence is your weakness. And I always thought that's interesting, because of what is that perspective? If Johnny Lawrence is his weakness, why did he try to hurt Johnny Lawrence, kill Johnny Lawrence previously, or whatever it might have been? That's a very interesting question. Maybe there's things that we're going to continue to see with Crease, maybe in jail for the season. Silver, what is Silver going to do? And a lot of those other things. And I think Sam and whatever that girl's name in Cobra Kai, forgot her name, gonna make up. I think a lot of these things are gonna come full circle, and people are gonna start turning on Silver. Silver's gonna have to have his evilness, his bullies, be much more like we can't have those morally great kids with Silver for very long. And I think that's where we're heading. I think Silver's gonna build some, like the new kid, the new black kid. I forgot his name because it's not off the top of my head. He's gonna build that kid into something like a Mike Barnes, I think, and I think that's gonna be very scary. I think Robbie Keane is gonna be in an interesting place. Going back to his father, I think he's going to be learning something. I don't think it's gonna be immediate. I think his is gonna be slow burn. But I think next season we're going to see a lot of turns and stuff like that. And Miguel is another one example. There's a lot of father figure things throughout this series, throughout old seasons, and this season even more. With Miguel and Johnny, and Miguel in his past, and Robbie and Johnny and Miguel and Daniel and his son, and Daniel and Miguel, and it's very much like a father-son's thing. If you're a father and you have a son, I think the show is really interesting. If you even having estranged with my real life father, the show really shows like the interesting dynamics of fathers and sons, and it's very fun to watch. And how hard it is for these people. And we get to the All Valley. Pretty much this whole show's like drama, training up to the All Valley. Before we get to the All Valley, actually, Daniel versus Johnny, we get another fight. Not surprised that we do. And simultaneous knockout like in Rocky, where Apollo and Rocky knock each other. It was Apollo? I think it's Apollo and Rocky knock each other out, if I remember. Simultaneous knockout. And that was. It seems like they're milking that. They're really milking that for the series. I don't think we're. Maybe the last episode they're gonna be like, okay, let's. And they're going to do it, but I think the whole point is that they don't want to put one of them over the other at this point. We do get like a very deep, scary conversation between Daniel and Silver in a corner store, which is one of my favorite moments. We get Johnny and Crease and Silver in the original Cobra Kai location. That was really cool. Like a lot of callbacks, but like that, like those moments where it's really tense and they're talking, Johnny gets his ass kicked, and just the talks between them, and like the evil within Daniel was, that's what Silver says. There's still some of that Cobra Kai in you, and it's very interesting and very dark. Like, I like it, and even Daniel's wife trying to help the Cobra Kai girl. I think that's a very big indication that we're going to see her coming forward to the good side. And I'm just excited for that. And then, so I'm going to go to the All Valley, the season I thought was going to start with, and ended up ending with it again. I would love to see them do something different with, like, oh, let's kick off with some high intense things next season, because it's kind of every season kind of starts slow, builds slow build, which is a good formula, I guess. If you want a formula, that's the way to do it. The All Valley really great. You know, this comes down to, like, if we lose, we cannot teach kids anymore. At least that's their deal with Crease. And they had, like, I think I forgot what her name is, Carrie Underwood cameo, and I was like, this is dumb. I don't need a Carrie Underwood cameo, whatever. For the All Valley, and I guess it kind of plays for a joke in the show that we don't need, in my opinion. That was stupid. But the All Valley itself, where they do different things, it's not just fights, it's skills and things like that, and they build up points, and at different points, different teams, the Cobra Kai, Miyagi, and Eagle Fang kind of will jump through the boards. With winnings, losings, whatever, different skills. When it comes to closer to the semifinals or whatever, you have all these kids. You had a Cobra Kai versus Cobra. You had Robbie versus the younger kid who was like a friend of his friend from Juvie. And they're kind of like, you know, smiling like this is, and they're like, they tell him this is not a friendly competition, whatever. So Robbie pretty much pops a kid in the nose, fucking makes him bleed, and that puts a different spark in that kid's head, I think, in that moment where his friend showed no mercy. He's like, I shouldn't show no mercy. And then we get a couple of matches. Hawk advances. Miguel has his match against Robbie. Was it Robbie? I think it's Robbie. Or who was it? I don't remember. I think it's Robbie. Him versus Miguel versus Robbie. Possibly, I don't remember. It doesn't matter who his opponent was. But he does a triple spin kick, whatever, aerial spin kick, and hurts his back. Pulls it, probably, whatever. And he's injured, just like Cobra Kai, or in World Karate Kids, there was that where Daniel's injured. He said, in this case, he does not return. Meaning Eagle Fang does not advance. Which is unfortunate. I thought, okay, Miguel might win 2 years in a row like Daniel did. No, he didn't. Hawk advances to finals, and Robbie versus Hawk in the finals. And this is where I thought, okay, Cobra was going to win this one, and then Miyagi's going to win the women, the girls. But no, instead, Hawk wins the males. fucking cool. And then, yeah, this character Hawk, who was Cobra Kai for life and ended up becoming a Miyagi student and used both styles and wins. And it was very good. And Hawk has a Hawk story arc. If you watch the show, he comes from this nerdy kid to cool fucking badass kid to, like the asshole, and then to in this season, he kind of arcs was like, I think I'm a loser. That I just pretended to be cool, and you're like, no, you've always his best friend, like I said, you've always been cool, and I just like his arc, and then him feeling that confidence and winning the males part of the All Valley, which is really good, and then the girls, Sam versus whatever that other girl's name is, Tori. I remember her name now, Tori. Sam versus Tori for the women's final. This is for all the marbles because Cobra Kai just had to win one. Boom, boom, boom in that fight. Really great fight. She's using both Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang or Cobra Kai together, and then partially went through her match. Daniel invites Johnny over, like, hey, help me coach her. And one of my favorite things is they never said that Johnny was a two-time All Valley, right? They kind of brushed over it, and Daniel made it a point that Johnny is a two-time All Valley champion as well. And that got the feels, like seeing them both, like saying, we're both two times. I think we're getting around to them being friends. And they're gonna have their duo eventually. I think it's someday. I don't know when, but before the end of the series. They coach Sam against Tori, whatever, and Tori accidentally elbows or hits Sam in the face. She goes, I didn't mean to, and she goes, hey, I didn't mean, she tells Crease, I didn't mean to, she goes, no mercy, do it again, and Crease is like, no, do what you want, and then, so that's when Silver, like, gives him, like, the what the fuck, you're supposed to be, like, the, any way to win guy, but he's not. Crease has learned, I think, and, so you win on your own terms. Tori wins. What, I was surprised. I was like, holy shit, what does this mean for the future? But then later in that same episode, before the end of the episode, Tori realized that Silver paid off the judge because Silver is rich and is able to do that. And so it makes you wonder who really won, because there were a couple moments throughout the tournament where it's like, okay, these people are doing well, but they're also, getting up to the ring, winning, blah, blah. How much of that happened in the tournament? So, meaning that Cobra Kai didn't win honorably. And I think Tori's going to reveal that next season to everybody. So they failed, even though I thought the good guys were always supposed to win. That's what Daniel always says. They find out that Miguel went to Mexico to find his father, who's like a bad guy, which I think he's probably going to end up being like a cartel guy or something. But who knows? Will his dad be connected to the storyline? I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see where Miguel goes, and then where Tori goes. Does it mean Johnny might be, like, that's what Johnny's going to be doing next season? He's not going to be training? Who knows? I wonder how fast that's going to be resolved. And then at the very end of the season, Daniel was at Miyagi's grave, like, talking to Miyagi, whatever. He was like, I need your help. Will you help me? And I was like, okay, that's very interesting. And then it pans over to Chosen. This makes me really curious. Are we going to get Chosen and Daniel versus Silver and Mike Barnes as trainers? Because that makes me very interested and very excited for the next season of Cobra Kai, for that Chosen thing coming. I didn't think Chosen was going to come back. I thought it was going to be like a one done, like, oh, I taught you, goodbye. No, Chosen's back. We're getting Chosen to teach kids to fight. A guy who was ready to kill Daniel, ready to kill anybody in his path. and he's changed as he's grown up. So it's very interesting. I'm excited. What are your thoughts on the Cobra Kai season? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you thought it was alright? I gave it 6.5. Do you disagree? Do you think it's like higher than that? I think it's a very good season. I'm not gonna say it's a bad season of television. It's not very entertaining. I binged it all in one night, so you can't say I didn't like it. I think thinking about it, soaking it all in, and realizing there was a couple really good parts to the season, but not everything was entertaining. But the actors make it really good, really fun. It has its own style, and it's not a bad season for Cobra Kai either. It's like you could tell the show is going up. So I think it's a good show, and I think it's about to get really crazy, real fucking fast. John Silver, best thing in the series, the season. Just seeing those moments with him and Daniel, him and Johnny, him and Crease, just him bringing out him and Stingray, even like it was very There's a lot of things they're setting up, and I think we're gonna be really excited to see it. I think it's gonna be intense. I'm excited to see where it goes, but let me know what your thoughts are on Cobra Kai season 4. Did you even watch it? I'd love to discuss. I love movies and I love shows, and this is just one of them. I have a couple other reviews I'm gonna do soon. Hopefully, if I can finish them, fingers crossed. Some streams, we're doing a lot of other things, so stay tuned for more episodes. It's a long episode, so I'll see you in another one. Goodbye.